This altercation. Watch him in the right lane. He is in trouble, Army, almost from the beginning.
Well, in no man's land, the truck gets a little out of shape right there. Now when he lands, something lets go in the front, and, man, he high-sides immediately. Boy, I am so glad they build these trucks strong, Gary.
That was one hard shot that he took, but he is okay. Now the wreckage is being cleared off the track, and we are getting ready for semifinal action. Gene Patterson in Bigfoot in the far lane. Earlier, Army talked to Gene about stepping into the shoes of Andy Brass.
I'm here to do one thing. You know, I've been off the circuit for a couple of years now, and Chandler put me behind the wheel of Bigfoot 10, and it was a champ last year, and I'm going to do everything I can to put that Ford team in #1 spot.
And he pulls alongside the Carolina Crusher with Gary Porter.
And just as intense as Patterson is putting Ford #1, Porter with the Carolina Crusher, he wants those Chevrolet people to have something to cheer about. This is the old, you know, there's a lot of old rivalry starting to come around. The longer this sport goes, look at here. Look at this kid out of North Carolina, but Foot comes back.
What's wrong with the Carolina Crusher? Something at the very end of that run. He had the foot covered, and something mechanically happened to Gary Porter.
I think it was something happened. The engine just cut clean. Look at the leave on him. Boy, the Chevrolet's out. Patterson knows he's in trouble, but right here, the engine just burps for a second, and that allows Patterson to pick up that mile an hour and fly past him.
Well, he will go to the finals, and he's standing by with Army.
Well, Gary, in racing, a lot of times they say it's better to be lucky than to be good. Yeah. Gene Patterson is talking with a crew chief here. Gene, I'm going to be real honest with you. I think he had you.
Yeah, he did, Army. You know, I could see him out of the corner mile all the way. You know, we shifted her in high gear, and we let the Ford power take over for us. Seems like the Firestone tires hooked up for us down our end, and I think we passed him up on the finish line down there. That's all it takes in this racing game. You know, there's a winner and loser in every round, and all these boys out here running this weekend are winners. As long as we can keep going one more round, make Ford happy, Trailmaster, BDS, we're rolling.
Well, coming up next, the equalizer with David Morris out of Tennessee, and he pulls alongside Wildfoot and Andy Brass.
Andy Brass is tickled to death to be driving this truck. There's not a lot of pressure on him. He's already proven he's one of the premier drivers in the sport. He's going up against this kid out of Tennessee, been around a long time. But Brass likes the idea of being involved in a research and development truck. He likes to experiment. He likes to try something new. And believe me, you can just tell by looking at this truck, the way the suspension sits, it's different from the get-go, just sitting on the start line. Look at that, look at that.
Wheel stand.
Whoa!
Oh, he hit that second ramp with the rear tires. That's not the configuration you want to go over that jump. Oh,
wow. Man,
I'll tell you what, that was driving skill that brought that truck back. Now watch the wheel stand in no man's land, and watch him hit that second ramp with the rear end.
On the throttle, see, he's making so much power, he just pulls a wheelie all the way over. That was neat, Gary Lee.
I don't know how neat that was from the cockpit. Here's Andy.
Andy Brass, it's final time, but in the semifinals, you took a run. I've seen a lot. I've never seen anything like that. What went through your mind on that run?
Well, the only thing I could think of right there when she pulled the wheels, I was like, well, if I let out of it, you know, I knew Equalizer was going to run a good time. I had to more or less stay in it. And I knew if we run her up the hill, she was probably going to nose over after the hill. And we just, when she started to come down, we just tried to stay back in and keep the front wheels full, and then hopefully she pulled us back down on the ground, and that's what it did.
A veteran driver talking about how he averts disaster. The championship coming up, and I can tell you the winner will come from St. Louis. It'll be Wildfoot against Bigfoot. Look at a beautiful piece in the show and shine area at the Allen County Fairgrounds here in Lima, Ohio, where Ford trucks present the Penda four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Spring National, part of the B.F. Goodrich Performance Series. These jamborees offer a host of activities for the truck lover as well as the entire family. To find out more, call or write the Special Events Promotion Company. The side-by-side championship shootout coming up next. Two trucks from St. Louis, Missouri are the Bigfoot fleet. There is Wildfoot, the latest development of Bob Chandler. Andy Brass on board. He'll go up against the truck he used to drive, Bigfoot 10, now being driven by Gene Patterson. And before this run, Army Armstrong had a chance to talk to both competitors.
Gary, Gene Patterson, the man that took Andy Brass's seat, is going against Andy Brass in the final. How do you prepare for it, Gene?
Hey, same thing says on my helmet, no fear. You know, got the Ford Bigfoot in the finals. That's what we set out to do here in the first race this season. Penda, you know, we're happy to be here. It don't matter who's in that lane. We got two Fords in the finals, and that means a lot to us.
It's going to be a good race, that's what I can say. You know, Gene's been with us for a while. He's been doing a lot of racing. He's a good driver. You know, Gene's been out here. He's run the truck. He stepped into a good truck. You know, we run the championship with it last year, so he's got a real good piece of equipment. We come out here with the Wildfoot truck. It's the same thing basically as his, only a little bit new equipment on it. We're trying to do some research and development, and I think the truck's been proving itself. So you know you're going to have two trucks so much it's almost identical, and two guys that's been at it for a while, so you're going to see some good racing when it comes to finals.
This should be interesting.
And it will be interesting, and I'm going to tell you something to look for. Nobody's going to roll over on this one. Both of these guys, and for no other reason, get bragging rights. You talked about the Bigfoot fleet a moment ago. This is going to be the Bigfoot flying circus at the end of this track. I'll guarantee you these guys are going to air these Mountain Motor Fords out big time.
Well, what does Andy Brass do for an encore after that last semifinal wheel stand?
Go across the finish line first. That's all he can do.
And it looks like he will do that by, only a nose, if that much.
Wow, what a race.
Wildfoot with Andy Brass by about that much over the Bigfoot truck number 10 of Gene Patterson.
Patterson is doing a fine job in that truck. Like he says, no fear. That's the name of this game.
Bigfoot, the far lane, Wildfoot, the near lane, side by side right here, and it's still fender to fender, and Andy noses over, but takes the victory. Let's go trackside, Army.
There's no worse. Congratulations, bud. Great run.
Thank you.
Well, real quick, I'm going to hang on to both of you guys while I got you here. Jim Kramer, you left the driver's seat. This kid kind of came up, took your place. Then you go to the head of the research and development. He follows you, and you're both winners. Is it something in the blood or what?
Hey, I tell you what, Andy's been great. You know, Andy worked with me for years, and he's probably the best driver we got in the organization right now. And he's come along. It's great to get to be able to work with him. I got a lot of ideas. I know a lot of guys back in the shop have a lot of good ideas, and it's great to have a guy like him come out and test them for us.
How do you feel about going out there and testing the unknown? Any other driver, any other truck would not have pulled through that wheelie that you took today. That's showing your research and development program is working.
Well, what I have to say there is a lot for the suspension. You know, we're working with Trailmaster there, and the Ford Wildfoot's been doing pretty good. You know, like I say, we worked with Trailmaster. The suspension worked out good. I think a lot of it that had to do, you know, we come down on the nose. The truck did handle pretty good. I stepped on it a little bit, brought it back down, and we didn't spend our time bouncing. It settled down and laid down back, and we could control it. So I have to say a lot for that, you know.
Army, there's one thing here. One thing to say about that, riding that wheelie, it takes a lot of heart to do that. You know, he's got it right here where it counts. He didn't give up, and that's what I like about him.
A lot of heart and a lot of talent and a lot of championship.
Yeah, there's a lot of respect between those two people. They are definitely a credit to the sport. What's the first thing he does? Goes over and congratulates Patterson. That's the caliber and individual they are.
And our congratulations to Andy Brass. For Army Armstrong, I'm Gary Lee. We'll see you next week on Trucks and Tractor Power. Now here's news of an exciting video release from Diamond P Sports.